For sports casuals tonight, we got NFL free agency news, NBA games, and NHL games. Let's get right into it. Starting off, Carl, we got Stefon Diggs signing with the New England Patriots. 3 years, $69 million, $26 million guaranteed, which is basically just 1 year deal, and then they can decide if they want to carry that out. What are you thinking on that?
Given the term, it's not super risky, but I think with what people associate Stefon Diggs' name with versus what I think they'll actually get out of him coming off of the torn ACL, I think this is going to leave a lot of fans disappointed.
Yeah.
From fantasy players to Patriots fans. You're going to draft him in the third round. Oh, Drake May is going to take a step. Stefon Diggs is going to be the number one. No, he had a torn ACL last year. He's going to catch like 80 footballs. He's not going to be a run after catch guy.
That's what it seemed like last year with the Texans. It seemed like he was catching a lot of footballs and he got in the end zone a few times, but there wasn't a lot after the catch. So it already seemed to be an issue of age or something going on with Diggs. And so what do you think that means for Drake May to at least have him? Now he has Diggs, Mac Hollins, and Damari Douglas, a couple other young guys too. So, I mean, he's got a wide receiver room now. What do you think that means for Drake May?
This will help Drake. A lot of his interceptions last year were ticky-tacky, off the hands of the receivers and into the arms of defenders type interceptions. And I think this will clean up a couple of those. Right. So at the end of the year, his stat line will look a little bit better, in my opinion. But I don't think that this really moves the needle for the Patriots on a game-to-game basis.
Okay. I can see that, yeah. Patriots, I kind of liked May last year, and I feel like I can see them. I feel like they're not going to be a pathetic team anymore. They were just shit and pathetic these last couple of years. 7 wins? I feel like they could get after it a couple times. Maybe win a couple shocker games. It'll be interesting to see what they do, though. Our next NFL story, Russell Wilson leaves Pittsburgh and signs with the New York Giants. It was alleged that he wanted to stay with Pittsburgh right up until the moment he signed with New York, meaning Pittsburgh just didn't really want him anymore. So he went and got a 1 year, $21 million deal, $10.5 million guaranteed with the Giants. What do we think?
I think that's an interesting quarterback room. They got the most authentic person in possibly the entire world in Jameis Winston. And then they have the most cringe, forced comments, just person you don't really want to. If you had to sit on a train with Russell Wilson for 5.5 hours right next to you, you're not going to be happy about that.
Oh, God.
But if you had Jameis right next to you, you wouldn't notice it was a 5.5 hour train ride to wherever the fuck you're going on a train.
Because you're just on a train now. Well, this signing has big draft implications because it's kind of just saying, is our Ward and Shedeur just going to go 1 and 2 to the Browns and to the Titans? Because now we think Travis Hunter might be just going to the Giants.
Yeah, it would be a good signing for them because either one of these quarterbacks are going to throw interceptions. And given his cornerback prowess, I think getting him to tackle the person that intercepts the ball would be pretty good.
Yeah, dude. Travis Hunter is he's going to lead all wide receivers in tackles, not even from when he's getting on the defensive side of the ball, just offensive when it goes wrong. But, I mean, what do you think about having Malik Neighbors and Travis Hunter on opposite sides of each other? Does that make any noise? Because I don't know if I really think Hunter's that crazy of a wide receiver prospect.
I think that could be fun. I don't know how much that will lead them to winning, but I think that could be fun. It would be a lot more fun with Winston, and now that's just kind of dead. Everyone on Twitter was saying Malik's going to catch 150 footballs for 2,000 yards and 10 touchdowns when they signed Winston, because that could just totally happen. You saw what he was doing with those guys in Cleveland.
Cleveland versus Pittsburgh, I think it was, where it was just like 40-40, just
Yeah,
bombs.
you could have started the entire Cleveland offense aside from the quarterback,
Yeah.
and you could have had all of the fantasy points at wide receiver.
Jerry Jeudy had 55 fantasy points in that game, I believe.
Yeah.
What is going? Should be interesting in New York.
When Jerry Jeudy signs a large deal, he should buy Jameis Winston a house.
Well, Cleveland gave him a pretty decent contract. It was a 3-year, like $60 million, I think, or something. Like he got paid better than what I think he deserved for how he played in Denver.
Yeah, he should buy Jameis Winston a house.
Let's move on to our last NFL story. Dak Prescott potentially getting traded to the Browns. I don't know how much that moves the needle of him, but that would have major draft implications because that means Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward is not going to be a Cleveland Brown. And that means they could either trade out of the number 2 pick or go for Abdul Carter on Penn State. So, what do you think?
Carter and Miles on the same D line would be insane.
And then Dak's a good QB. Like they have a team.
Yeah. I think he needs to play inside. I don't think he would fare well in the AFC North. Just all those cold weather games. He's been playing in Dallas his entire career. I don't know if he's like to a level bad when it gets cold, but I don't.
That's tough to do, but
I don't think he's a great outdoor type quarterback. So, he's a middle of the pack guy. He can be top 10, top 8. He won't be on the Browns. And
MVP
the Browns
candidate a few years ago.
Yeah, he definitely peaked a few years ago.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it sounds cool, but as far as championships and playoff runs, they could crack into the playoffs if that happened, but
yeah,
that's basically where that ends.
All right, Brad, what do you think about tonight's NBA action?
Well, let's start off with Bucks versus Nuggets. Big story around the Bucks, not even the game, is Damian Lillard being out indefinitely with a blood clot. It brings a lot of questions to the Bucks because, like, if he misses the playoffs, they're not going to do anything in the playoffs, and that means that him and Giannis will have never played in the playoffs together in 2 years in Milwaukee. So that brings some big questions on if he's going to come back or not, and what it means for the Bucks long term with Dame like aging too. Like, do you bring him back?
Yeah.
What do you do there? But for the actual game, the Nuggets beat the Bucks without their 2 best players. So I mean, you beat them by 10, but it's not that impressive. Jokic comes back for 39, 10, and 10 triple-double, which is nuts. But apparently he just does that. He'll go race horses, and then he'll come back and just do that, and then go race horses again and win a championship. And just casual, nonchalant player.
Nonchalant.
Russ shoots 2 for 9 and 1 for 6 from 3. I'm not sure why Russell Westbrook's putting up 6 threes a game, but Denver got the job done, and they're still in contention for the 2 seed. They're still fighting for it. They are 1.5 games behind the Rockets for the 2 seed. They're starting to pull away from the rest of the 4 through 9 seeds in the West who are all clumped up. Our Wolves are a part of that mess. But overall, good game, good win for the Nuggets, but you didn't really beat anyone on the Bucks, so it doesn't mean too much.
They took care of business.
That's the perfect way to put it. And then I can go to Knicks versus Clippers, which is another big story because the Clippers are now in the 6th seed after a huge road win in New York, but no Jalen Brunson or Miles McBride. Jalen Brunson's obviously the star. Miles McBride's one of their best bench pieces, at least. 6-man type guy who's putting up 10 points a game. Just a solid win for the Clippers, who get 27 points out of Kawhi and 29 points out of James Harden. And Chris Dunn started. What? Chris Dunn got starting minutes in 2025. I love to see that. He shot 1 for 5 from 3, though.
Wolves hit on that
Yeah.
draft pick.
Yes, we did. We love that. Derek Jones Jr. puts up 12 points off the bench too, 5 for 8 shooting. Efficient game for him. I've always kind of liked him as a bench piece. He'll just come in and he'll just do a 360 fucking windmill dunk out of nowhere, and you're like, holy shit. But for some reason, no team likes to keep him. He just seems like a sick, like hype dunking dude.
Yeah. This game was won by the Clippers bench.
Okay.
Every one of their starters was even or negative.
Yeah.
Nicholas Batum plus 18. Derek Jones Jr. plus 24. Patty Mills plus 19. Bogdan Bogdanovic plus 14.
Patty Mills was not plus 19 in 1 minute, though. Hold on.
No, I didn't say Patty Mills, did I?
I thought you said Patty Mills first. Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons plus 19.
Yes. Sorry. Dyslexic.
It might have been my error, too.
I did not say Ben Simmons at any point. So, but yeah, no, the bench just came in and really clamped. But it was the bench on the floor with Kawhi, and
yeah,
but none of the starters were keeping the ball out of the bucket. But then these boys came in, and it was lights out on defense.
Yeah.
Apparently,
that's a big loss for the Knicks. It's like it's a good team. You hear big names, and it seems like they just aren't able to get it done against good competition a lot of the time. But they had no Brunson, so we will let that slide. The biggest NBA story of the night is the Pacers versus the Lakers, where we unfortunately have to talk about LeBron James cutting to the paint and tipping in a missed Luka Doncic shot to win the game by 120 to 119. Pacers were down 13 points at one point in the fourth quarter, and they were up 2 points, or up, 1 point, and it slipped away. The comeback falls short. And the crazier part about the game, LeBron only had 13 points. Towards the end of the third quarter, he was 0 for 6 with 3 points. So LeBron was doing nothing, and then all of a sudden, he came in and won them the game.
Yeah, put up 10 in the fourth.
Well, I mean, that was, there was some Mickey buckets in there, I'm sure.
Obviously,
5 kept the streak going.
Yeah. He knew about all the people who placed the LeBron over 10 points for minus 10,000.
No. Oh, God. That's rough. And
imagine your house on that.
You're sweating out to the Pacers game because he shouldn't have even had 10 points. He was getting it off of free throws. Like he had 9 points and had only made 2 shots at one point, but he eventually got the game winner, so that was good. Another big story from the game is Tyrese Halliburton, who had 18 assists in the comeback that came short, but still a crazy game from him.
What stands out more to me than his 18 assists, 0 rebounds. He was not getting gritty.
Come on, Hallie. Get after it, dude. Well, I mean, he had 2 steals and a block, though.
Yes. Okay.
So he was getting after it.
He was getting a little gritty. Not gritty enough, though.
But Miles Turner was doing the dirty work with the rebounds.
Yeah.
Another big thing from the game was that Jackson Hayes, of all people, went 6 for 6 as a starter and was kind of dogging Miles Turner. There was a clip of him dunking on Miles Turner, who's a good defensive guy. And Jackson Hayes gave the Lakers a good bump when they were leading pretty comfortably to, put the Pacers in a rough spot. And Miles Turner got cooked a few times. But I think that'll be it for the NBA.
Well, Brad, I got some NHL news for you. So let's jump right into that.
Let's get it.
Big news out of Washington. Not Washington State. No one cares about Washington State. I'm talking about Washington, D.C., you idiots. The Capitals extended Jakob Chychrun to an 8x9 contract. He got paid, and he absolutely deserved it. Absolutely deserved it. He's put up 18 goals from the back end as a defenseman, which is just nutty type shooting. That's probably a little more than you would expect from him. He's probably a little bit above his expected goals, but nonetheless, expected goals aren't real goals. 18 real goals is better than 16 expected goals. So that they found their number one defenseman for once. John Carlson starts to take a step back, which is not happening this year. He's having a hell of a year too. And sticking with the Capitals, even though they lost to the Jets in overtime, Alex Ovechkin scored another goal. He is 6 away from breaking Wayne Gretzky's all-time scoring record.
Holy shit, it's a name I know.
That is a name you know, and it's an absolutely insane number. He is shooting for 894. No one thought that record would be broken, but Alex Ovechkin is 1 in a trillion. If you have a chance to get out to a Washington Capitals game either this year or next year, get the fuck out there.
Before he's gone.
Yeah, you don't see players like this ever. And now he's only 6 away. He had a wonderful quote when he was younger. He said, "I am score." And damn, was he right. My Wild lost again. 5-1. Blown out. Close game for a little bit. Started. There's just not much you can even talk about with this team right now.
No Kirill.
No Kirill. The offense just is not doing anything. They're getting ticky-tacky when they need to be shooting these damn pucks from the slot, especially with no Kirill and act like they're trying to get pretty and make one extra pass, and it's always getting broken up, and it's getting really fucking frustrating to watch. Jack Eichel had a hattie, so USA hockey, love to see that. It's the one thing you can take away from this as a Wild fan. And Brodin did come back. I was talking about this the other night. We were hoping it wasn't a re-aggravation, and it looks like he wasn't because he made it through this game just fine.
There you go.
As far as tonight goes, the Bruins are losing games, and I think that's kind of perfect. They're setting themselves up to rebuild on the fly, especially if they get some lottery luck this year and move into the top 4, top 5. They might just be right back to being the Boston Bruins next year. But this year they suck. It's Pasternak and nobody else.
Did they win a cup?
Yeah, they won a cup a couple years ago, I believe. Or they went to a cup.
Because I'll get my hockey knowledge live on the show, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, you're testing mine, and I don't have an answer for it. Yeah, they lose to the Ducks 6-2. Leo Carlson, very, very fun youngster for the Ducks, notched 2 goals. And another fun youngster for the Ducks, Jackson Lacombe, University of Minnesota Golden Gopher product, is having the breakout season that no one saw coming. He's up to, how many points is he up to? He's getting close to 50 as a defenseman. Eden Prairie, Minnesota. Born in 2001. He's younger than me. And yeah, he's up to 41 points this year. There's really nothing you can complain about with the way he's been playing. He's just slid right into their first pair, and he's looking phenomenal. So it looks like they found a bona fide blue chip defenseman, which they all thought was going to be Jamie Drysdale, and then things went south there, and now he's in Philly. And it ain't going well for him in Philly. So it looks like they made a good move on that one. Islanders played Vancouver, and Vancouver won 5-2. And this is just more things going poorly for the Wild. They are not. The other day I said it looks like they're firmly into the first wild card spot. They're only 2 points up on St. Louis, and they are 5 points up on Vancouver. So things can go south very, very fast if the Wild don't win tomorrow against the Capitals, who are the best team in the league. Surely that'll go well.
Rough spot to be in.
Very rough spot to be in. Kiefer Sherwood The other day, he set the NHL record for most hits in a season. He potted 2 goals tonight. So he's showing he's not just a gritty guy, which you always like to see. Kind of got ran out of Nashville for no reason. And they got him nice and cheap, and he's producing for him. He's looking like a $3.5 million player when he hits the open market again. New York is just a snooze fest. The Islanders are the Wild, but they don't have any injuries they can blame it on. That's kind of all I got for them. Dallas beat Edmonton 4-3. Just we're chasing them. We weren't gonna be able to chase them down the way we're playing. But you don't want to see this team get hot. If they keep playing good hockey like this, I could very easily see them in the conference finals or possibly the Stanley Cup. Jake Ottinger is just one of the premier goaltenders in the entire league, and if he's on, he's on. And Edmonton beat him 3 times today, but they got beat 4 times, including 3 from Jason Robertson. Hattie for the Hawaiian. I think he's Hawaiian. No. He's got Hawaiian heritage, but he's from Michigan.
Close enough.
Close
Michigan,
enough.
Hawaii, whatever. Maybe he lived
Close
on Lake Michigan.
Yeah.
He had some waterfront.
Some waterfront, yeah. That's how he's Hawaiian. And to wrap up the NHL, the Devils beat up on the lowly Blackhawks. 5-3 game. It didn't feel like it was 5-3. Felt like the Devils could do basically whatever they wanted to against this team tonight, and kind of shows on the scoreboard. Nico Hischier, 2 assists. He's filling in phenomenally for Jack Hughes in these last couple weeks here, which they absolutely need because the Devils have kind of been in free fall. So they're getting chased down for their wild card spot, and they're winning though. So they're keeping themselves there, which is really all you can ask for. And I'm mad that my team.
That.
Yeah. That's the theme of the show. The Wild aren't doing it.
Yeah.
Everyone else is. Who scored? Dawson Mercer scored twice. Stefon Noyson, he scored once. Anže Palat scored once. And Nathan Bastian, he scored once as well. Solid players. Had a good game. The Devils are intriguing. Obviously, without Jack Hughes, it really puts a damper on everything that you could say about them because they are so damn fun when he's in the lineup. But Jesper Bratt is just playing absolutely insane hockey right now. He's up to 84 points, 64 apples, 20 goals. And this guy was just a hell of a fucking find. 6th-round draft pick, 2016, and point per game player locked in now. He can coast for the rest of the year, and he'll still be a point per game. And yeah, he's almost up to 450 points in his career already. He's a steal of that draft. Yeah, he's a phenomenal player. But that's really all I got to say about the hockey that went on today. Did you know that it rained?
Oh, we were doing this?
Yeah.
All right, that'll be it for March 26th Sports Casuals. Tune into it. Watch the show for daily sports news whenever we feel like uploading this shit. So we will catch you guys next time. Like and subscribe, please, so that we can have more people subscribed. See you guys.